South African police officers arrested like this. South African police officers, look at them there. They are arrested, guess what? For stealing from a Nigerian shop. Nigerian shop. This is the height of it. You understand? These people you are seeing here are South African police officers. You see, predominantly black South African police officers. This news got to trend. Nigerian as a Nigerian, this has to trend because the narrative is that Nigerians are not wanted in South Africa because they're the thief, because they sell powder, because they commit crime, because they do all sorts of unwanted things. But what is this we are seeing? How did this happen? What narrative are we now discovering? How is it that the people you are accusing of all the things you say they do, you are now the one that is stealing from them? I don't know how South Africans go take answer this one, even though those people don't get shame. They will still find a way to justify it on the comment section. But guys, South Africans should justify this. Let me hear. I am so ready. I just want to understand. I want to hear the justification. South Africans, please justify this on the comment section. It's not going easy for now, I guarantee. I've always promised you guys that I, Ajim, will not stop. And if you are in Nigeria and you are tired, you are like, oh, why is Ajim always talking about these people, bringing up their matter, trying to, if you are tired there as a Nigerian, if you don't want to pack your bags and go, because South Africans themselves are not tired perpetrating wrong information about Nigeria. South Africans themselves are not tired exposing Nigerians as powder sellers, as people where they thief, as people where they commit all sorts of negative things in South Africa. That is the justification you watch everywhere on social media, and they are not stopping anytime soon. Once you open TikTok and you see anything about South Africa, the first thing South Africans will be justifying their action, their xenophobia against Nigeria and other Africans will be, oh, so because Nigerians, you think you helped us, does it mean that you people now have the right and the freedom to come into our country and sell powder to our children and become to and be stealing and be doing this and be doing that? Is that it? Are you not saying that because Nigeria help us, we should allow Nigerians come to our country and do all of that? As in all Nigerians in South Africa, that's what they do. That's what South Africans give us the impression. That's what they are saying. So when I see something like this, I have to remind them and tell them and show the South Africans and ask them the question. Come and justify this. Come and answer this. Because you cannot claim that this is what Nigerians do in your country. And we are seeing updates like this on social media. This update is not coming from Nigerians. This update is coming from the South African police. This update is coming from your own country. So that's why there has to be an issue. We have to talk. We have to talk because the damage you guys have done about Nigerians, the name of Nigerians is too much. Just today, I received a text from one Nigerian man. He used to be in South Africa. Guess what? The man relocated to China. A Nigerian in South Africa relocated to China because he had, in fact, just imagine that a Nigerian in South Africa thinks that he will be better off in China than in his own continent of Africa. Think about it. How does it sound in your head? Nigeria go pack back, come out South Africa, go China because he feels more home in China than in South Africa. That's where the confusion, you see, the impact of this thing is massive. Many Nigerians in South Africa are not safe. They are not. They are not. And this man is a very lucky man. This Nigerian man is a very, very lucky man. Yes, he's lucky in many ways, and I'll explain to you why he's lucky. You understand? But somebody make this make sense to me, please. Can somebody make this make sense? At least let's assume that if it was a group of black South Africans that enter a Nigerian shop to loot, to carry things, for thief, black South Africans, normal civilian, we understand. We would have even said, okay, it's their problem with Nigerians that is pushing them to do that. Because if it's a normal civilian now, you say, okay, maybe because of the narrative against Nigeria, some of them are pushing it that far. Like during the xenophobia where they were looting Nigerian shops, taking everything that belongs to Nigerians, chasing them out of their houses, all those kind of things. Would have understand that it's civilians who are not educated, civilians who cannot control their emotions, civilians who don't have sense. Would have even understood that way. But how can police officers be doing this. Police officers who are supposed to be the ones protecting immigrants, protecting citizens. So if this Nigerian man is in South Africa and he has a big shop to that level, where South Africans can have the audacity and the right to enter that shop and loot and, frame him up and try to steal from him, it means that first, the Nigerian man there has his papers. He's not an illegal immigrant. He's well documented. His shop is registered as a business in the country. Because if not, the investigation will come and say, oh, why would they be arresting the police officers if the Nigerian man's business is not legit and it's not legal? So for them to come, for other authorities, I have to applaud South Africa, the whites, because I think that sometimes the police that is policing this police, we need to really celebrate them, because the police could come and say, oh, this police are South African, the other man is a foreigner, let us just favor our South Africans and let the case die down, or even just collect the things, give back to the man and say nothing and let the case just go. But the South African police, the police that is policing the police, that really took their time to say, no, we must expose this and shun this. I think that we need to celebrate that as well. It's a very good thing that they did. Very, very good thing. If not, because now, many South Africans and the police that have been doing this to Nigerians and foreigners who own shops in South Africa, once they see this news now, they'll be careful. They'll be scared. They'll no longer go to legal immigrants. They'll not go and disturb people who own their businesses because they are immigrants and try to extort from them and try to collect money from them unjustly. So I'm happy that South Africans, somehow their authorities got to do this. I always say it, now the blacks, now the blacks get the highest problem for that country. Now the blacks could create highest wahala. So it is really embarrassing that the South African police officers were doing this, man. As a South African, I don't know how you justify this, but if you are intelligent enough, I think that you will shame this. You will tell your fellow South Africans that this is not correct. And a South African police officer shouldn't be doing this. This police should go down for it and they should use them as a scapegoat for all the other police officers who are taking advantage of foreigners. We don't have a problem with you chasing out illegal foreigners in your country. Decide, but once you start touching legal immigrants and people who own their genuine businesses, you expect this to trend. It is what it is. Your boy Ajay Maxi on this one again. Come back anytime you're free, guys. God bless you all. Cheers.